Hello ladies and gentlemen to what has been a very long hiatus from the Shadow Side, and I am here today to introduce you to my big recording project. Now, you can see, kind of all around me, is Galactic Civilizations 3. I have 4 bottles of famous ginger grouse, which is the old grouse birdie scotch thing with ginger, and it's rather nice. And yeah, welcome to my big project, Galactic Brikwars. This is going to be an entire campaign in Galactic Civilizations 3 with Brikwars factions, which I have already gone and pre-designed. Basically, it took me a while, but using, those pictures didn't turn out too well. Using LDD, which is Lego Digital Designer, I created a series of the leaders of each individual Brikwars race, or a selection of about 16 to 18 Brikwars races, and tied them all together into one big amalgamation in amongst all the other Galciv races. And yeah, I have my own race in Brikwars, which is the Great and Mighty Scythian Empire, led by Lord Hersa, which is plot stuff, blah blah blah, yada yada yada, with kind of race traits that kind of match each faction. We have the Mercenary Army of Extermination, led by Biphoenix. We have Assyria, and because Natalia never updated an Assyrian flag, we have the Armoured Corps giving everyone the finger, which is going to turn up all over the place. We have the Celestial Kingdom, which is one of Silent Sigfig's races. ZMC, thank you Zupon, you are awesome. USA, led by Black Obama. 45th Union, led by Rock, who isn't exactly around anymore, with Pichimir Putin. The Luchardsko with Falk. The Meteoric Republic of Trattoria? Meritocratic Republic of Trattoria, right in front of me, and I'm still not seeing it. Venice, I need to switch out that image, but I can't be asked right now. Britannia, Warhead, the Immortals, Bavaria, Kaiser Claus, Silver Dream, if you're watching, yes, you are here. Polonia from Dura, or however you pronounce his name, one of our more recent and awesome additions. And Acadia with Piltrock. And it's kind of a vague set of mixed traits and so on. Let me just go through, and each race kind of customized foreground, customized background, leader portrait, little descriptions, who is your race, Scythian Empire, Scythia, oh wait, I need to change that, the Scythians, feck, I can't type, Scythian fleet ship, Scythia, blah blah blah, the star system, although it says ICOS, that's merely the backdrop which the system is based in, traits and abilities, and you have these various things, moving them from one side to the other, a various number of points. Bad options give you more points, good options take away more points, so you can really, patriotic, immune to large empire policies, intuitive, starts with free research, and they all have different things like knowledgeable, you know where everybody else is, adaptable, wealthy, unrelenting. You have kind of ship styles you can choose, so I've picked something that, although I can't quite get all the Scythian themes in there, I picked something that's fairly close for not only my own race, but all of the individual races. So if I haven't quite been able to pin all the colour schemes down, I've got it as close as. And then you've got personality traits, tech tree traits, ideologies, what each race, and they're all different for each race, will prioritise when they're spreading out into space. You'll also notice that while I've been blathering on, I have made a couple of other alterations. First of all, there's no background sound. I've gotten rid of it for the case of this video, which means I can also go without headphones, which means I'm not whispering at you, nor am I shouting at you. So I'll be doing a lot more blathering to kind of fill in the empty space. I might put a soundtrack in the background, I'm not decided yet, but in the meantime, let's get to building our galaxy. You can go from small, tiny, medium, all the way to insane, which is, doesn't even bear to go down. My computer can't run it without chugging. So with 16 races, all set at gifted difficulty, which is a step above normal, and normal's about average. In gigantic spiral, star frequency, we will have common stars, because if it's set to abundant, our galactic neighborhood will just be full. And what we want is to have expansionism, conflict, that kind of stuff, see how the game plays. So common gives us enough stars to spread, but not so many as to flood the map. Habitable planets, the same. Extreme planets, the same. Planets in general will be abundant. There'll be plenty of landmarks out there to fight over. Occasional pirate bases. Asteroid frequency, let's set that to occasional. Nebulae, occasional. Black holes, occasional. Precursor relics, I want those to be rare because I want those to be something that's fought over by all factions. But there will be abundant resources, so we'll chunk into that later on in the game. And I've turned off Ascension Crystals because it is a shitty way to win. It's just like, capture a thing, hold it for so many turns. No one challenges you, you win. The fuck is that? Right, victory options. So we're going to go with Conquest. Basically, I have to kill everyone. Influence, you know, culture, spread it as far as you can, turn everyone into your bitches. Research, I've left Research Ascension Victory in, because that means that you have to spend a lot of time and a lot of effort going down the tech tree to get there. Alliance and turn limit. I've turned turn limit off because I want to keep this going for as long as it goes on for. So, for the case of the game, we have gifted AIs. Game pacing is very fast. Research rate is very fast, because I don't necessarily want to sit on this. I'm going to bump United Planets up to regular. There are no minor races in this, and galactic events are abundant, so there'll be plenty of things cropping up to kind of stick something in the works and fuck it all up. And here they are. All of the various races who we'll be fighting against. And down here are all the traditional and not so traditional Galciv races, like going through from the Tharlans up to the Terrans are the original races, and everything else is races that I've either made or downloaded from the Steam Workshop, but I'm not using them. And I've left everybody's teams off. Oh, fuck. Why is the Bavarian Empire on Team 47? Stop that. No. Right, I've left everybody's teams off because I want everyone to kind of form their own alliances and so on and so forth as time goes on. So without further ado, after 7.5 minutes of fucking waffling, I'm going to hit the start button and build a galaxy. And then we're going to find out what we've got. This'll... Ooh. It's chugged a bit. It's chugging. Galciv 3 as a game is the first in the series that's, although you can't see the rest of the screen, I've had to deliberately turn down and chug down every single setting on my machine to make sure I've got 1, enough RAM to play the game, and 2, enough RAM to record it. So yeah, it should be fun. Alright, so the Great Scythian Empire, a superpower of the Brikwars and spearhead against the Immortal Empire. You never know, I might end up making friends with them in this series. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Advanced but naive. Scythian Empire seems to spread once more and establish itself in the young galaxy. Now, in Brikwars canon, which is my personal head canon, along with everybody else's head canons, and if you really want to see whose head canon is best, you better line up broadsides. The Scythian Empire, huge galactic power, centre of the galaxy with 500 plus star systems. In this Brikwars game, I started out in what appears to be the middle of buttfuck nowhere with 1 planet, which is Scythia. I have a survey ship, a colony ship, and a scout. Now the problem is the scout is a bit shit, so the first thing I'm going to do is decommission that thing straight off the belt, because I don't want to be paying for the maintenance on a ship I'm barely going to use. I'm going to set my survey ship to survey, and you'll notice, maybe, perhaps, around the map there will be anomalies cropping up, which my survey ship will fly along to, go and collect, and then stuff will happen. And my colony ship, I am going to send out to this system over here and hope there is a nearby planet in the Shire system? The Shire LaBeouf system, yeah. And there's all these tabs across here. I think my webcam is kind of hiding in the middle of the screen, so a couple of bits and pieces might be hidden, but I'll try my best to get it out of the way. So, The Scythian Empire started off with intuitive as one of its race traits, which meant I have extra research. So I'm going to start off with interstellar travel right away for the FTL drives, and hyperdrive specialization, which gives me +1 move on top of the +1 that interstellar travel gave me, and the extra engine, so that's +2 moves I can get for all of my ships straight off the bat. And as for other stuff, I am going to chunk into Universal Translator. Now here comes the not quite so fun bit, although it can be fun depending on what you get. On your home planet you can see, well, this will be on all planets, but on the particular home planet of Scythia you've got these hexagon grids, and you can build these buildings in the hexagon grids, and what they do is, depending on how you've got your empire set up, is raise one of these 3 stats and these various substats which make up how your world behaves as part of the greater empire. I personally like working in 3s because with buildings next to each other they help each other, upgrading their capacity, making them more effective. So 3 factories, 3 research laboratories. I have a wasteland here right next to my colony capital, and these little things, as you can see, cataract, massive forge provide free energy for manufacturing or research. Wasteland, desolate area is barely usable and perfect for blowing things up. Yeah, Brikwars. Because it provides a +2 to military, and the colony special provides +1 to everything, I have plans for this spot that will be cropping up later on through the tech tree. But for now, let's rush our first factory and the shipyard. Now, on the first part of the list, we have the constructor, the colony ship, the scout. So constructor builds star bases and the like. I'll be using a fair few of these depending on strategies and resources. Colony ship pretty much stands for itself. Scout, and the Intrepid is a ship that I designed that has ended up carrying through the game. From a previous playthrough that was actually in a different colour scheme originally. It was closer to white rather than Scythian red, but it is covered in sensors, and this is going to be useful because although it was somewhat of a hack in previous versions of the game where you could put more sensors on than a ship could carry, build it and then move it over to another game, you can't do that anymore. But what you can do is build it as an exploration vessel and set it loose and find out what else is out there. So without further ado, 12 minutes into this project, I'm going to take my first swig. And spill it fucking down myself. Oh, my twat. And then I'm going to hit the turn button and see what happens out there in the black. So yeah, obviously zoomed all the way out is kind of a very strategic view. And my Intrepid class is finished. So you can zoom all the way into the pretties, or you can zoom all the way out to get everything in at once. So let's start things off. You've got resources like Gerantium, of which I've got 2 in my home system, Illyrium for powerful systems, beam and shields, Thulium, which enhances sensors. Okay, there's a fair mix of everything out here, but my colony ship is going in the wrong direction. Turns out the Shire, the boost system, is full of shit. Now over here, these 2 closest worlds would be what most people would jump to, but unfortunately not, because this is a frozen world and this is an aquatic world. Both of these worlds will need extreme colonization for me to even landfall on them, and after that they'll need additional specializations for me to be able to use them, and the specializations are mutually exclusive, which is why I picked the specialization for the +1 after interstellar travel technology. To get the other upgrades, I'll have to start communicating and trading with other races. But in the meantime, we have the Hassi system, Hassi 2, which is a class 10 world, which means it will have 10 hexagonal tiles available for me to use right off the bat. And over here we have the Anshai Canon system, which has a class 5 barely habitable and a class 7 Earth-like. They're both desert planets, which means they've got +50 to social manufacturing but -25 to food. So in the meantime, let's go for the bog standard world. Hassi 2, go forth and colonize, and you can head in that direction. Oh, it's out of range. Yeah, one of the things I deliberately set as a race trait for the Scythian Empire was a low travel radius for my ships, because they're not exactly... Well, in Brikwars lore, they were in a self-imposed exile from the greater galaxy for several hundred years. In this, it's just a case of a fun little challenging hurdle I have to work my way around. So let's hit the turn button. I've built another Intrepid, and let's see what else is out in the black. Alright, so let's go in this direction. You can go in that direction, and you can go to Hassi 2, and we can colonize. And here's where our next hurdle kicks up. Now what we have here is a colonizing event. Funny tasting food. Food grown on this planet has to undergo intensive treatment to reduce the trace poisons which permeate the world, a process which results in a distinct taste. Locals don't notice anything. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, the food tastes a bit funny. How am I going to use it? So we need the food here more than elsewhere. Share the technique so it can be recreated, which will give me plus 10 benevolent points, plus 10% influence, plus 10% approval. Well, let's not do anything to endanger this colony's health, but beyond there, there's no harm in selling excess food, which is 10 pragmatic, 10 influence, 10 economy, and if it's more valuable elsewhere, it'll be sent elsewhere. Plus 10 malevolent, plus 30 economy, minus 10 approval, minus 10 food production. So for now, let's go with the balanced approach, which will give me plus 10% to this world's economy. So what we've got is what will be a nice little research section when it's up and running, but the rest of this world is kind of... Ooh, well, there is Prometheus Stone, which gives me plus 5% to my moves on my ships. So, you know, might add up to a couple of extra tiles, and plus 2 to military as well. For now, this world needs to chug along. And look, up here, we have the ideology tab, and we have pragmatic. So this is kind of the best of all worlds, but you can pick options from all three: benevolent, pragmatic, and malevolent, and these kind of decide the various directions that your civilization wants to work in. So prepared, basically preparation centers, they're like military centers, planetary defense for, you know, civilian units, National Guard, that kind of stuff. Constructors, plus 3 constructors. Exporters, which is plus 1 trade licenses. And negotiator, which is no one will declare war on us for the next 50 turns, but we don't know anyone yet. So in the meantime, let's go with builder and unlock that. And we've also just unlocked universal translator, diplomatic reasoning, influential voice, and passionate communicator. I'm going to go with diplomatic reasoning, which will give me plus 1 to my diplomacy bonus. So it means everyone will like me. Oh, my bestest friends. Now eat my shit. And with these constructors, I'm going to build my first starbase. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a mining starbase, which within this radius it's got highlighted will mine the Illyrium and these 2 patches of Durantium. So first starbase, and let's all watch the video. Oh, look at the little spaceships. Now look at the big spaceships. There we go. And this starbase, Scythia Starbase 1, will have a mining ring, which it will build, and then these other 2 constructors will move up to it and build perimeter scanners and a starbase defense system. And the start of the Scythian system is on the move. So my shipyard is now idle, so I'm going to set it to build 2 more colony ships, and then I'm going to hit the turn button. So we have our first Durantium mine, basically really dense metal, it's like really thick, and our first Illyrium mine, yes, we're all thinking XCOM. And yeah, now it turns out I'm actually not earning any money at the moment because of various upkeeps and stuff, but that should change shortly. So let's just keep things moving. First anomaly survey. Mysterious hardware. The alien computational system found in this capsule is so advanced that your survey team lacks the words to describe all but their most rudimentary functions. Even those low-level capabilities, however, are enough to advance our technological studies by leaps and bounds, plus 25% to technological reasoning. Diplomatic reasoning, sorry. And there we go. So plus 25% to the tech I was researching. Now you can go and see what's in that direction, and everybody else can have a bit of a look around. So, debris field, recent wars left debris fields scattered across the galaxy, valuable ship components and elements, blah blah blah, plus 22 credits. Yay! You're also an idle ship, you can go that way. So, is there anybody out there? Oh. What are you? Pirates. They're quite some distance away. But there should be a pirate base out there producing those ships, which I will have to take out because eventually they'll start accruing research points of their own and eventually start building bigger and badder ships. But right now they're just piddly little short-range gunboats, basically TIE fighters. More debris, more credits for me. Hit the turn button again. Now at the moment this is all the very beginnings of the game, figuring out where everything is. A culture relic. The xenoarchaeology module on any nearby starbase to provide this precursor relic and research this precursor relic and unlock its mysteries. Oh, it's all very mysterious. More mysterious hardware. The galaxy is full of mysterious things. And yeah, it's all on the move. Go that way. Find out what's over there. So my research into diplomatic reasoning is complete, so when I meet someone I'll be able to wow them with my bright teeth and my winning smile. But we need to solve a few short-term problems, so I'm going to research xenocommerce, which should open up the ability to start earning proper money, because right now I'm actually not earning but not losing cash, so it is just a case of trying to plug the hole before I start spreading out properly. Oh, more debris. Here we go. And as you can see, what's just happened here on turn 11, my red areas here have expanded. Basically, influence growth. The more influence is being outputted by a colony, the further out these will spread until they eventually meet with other cultures' influences, and then there's kind of a invisible culture war as the two values go against one another, and one will eventually overtake the other. It takes time, but yeah, it's not like games like Civ 5 where you have to buy tiles and spread your influence that way, and yeah, this just happens automatically. So, week 12. 3 months in, basically, to my game of intergalactic conquest, and we've colonised a world and built a starbase. Oh. Cargo pods. Where did these cargo pods stuffed with goods worth a literally astronomical amount of money come from? Where are their owners? Why did they abandon them? None of these questions have profitable answers, so there's no reason to ask them in the first place. Oh yeah, 100 credits. Right, I have an adder ship. You... Right, okay. Trundle back up in that direction then. Keep moving and see what you can see when you see the sea. And you can trundle up in that direction. More debris. And there we go, my influence from my two worlds have met in the middle. So we're still not earning, but we're not losing either. My worlds are pretty much getting to the point where they're as populated as they can be, but with my new technology completed, I can build market centres, which means I can start producing some actual income. And my general list of buildings that I can construct has gone up a little bit. One thing I will build though and buy is an entertainment centre, because my approval bonus will directly tie into how much cash, how much research and how much manufacturing I can create. And the more of that I can create, the better off my empire will be. So on research we've done Xeno-commerce. Now commerce specialization will be the next one I pick, and I've got a choice of 3 again. It's pretty much all choices of 3. Wealthy population plus 10% to my gross income, supportive population increases morale, and designated trading partner adds another trading license. What I'm going to go with for now is supportive population, because the happier my plods are, the more of them I can stick on their respective planets. Right, lost and found. The scorched and pitted remains, exterior, of this abandoned cargo pod gives the impression that its rightful owners are unlikely to return for it in this life. It would be a shame to let those valuable goods go to waste. Well, it would indeed. It would be a shame. Shame. So I pinched it. And now I guess I'm just patrolling in circles. Turn more cargo pods with more questions no one's going to ask. Just explore. And you just explore. Right, more cargo pods. And right now we're just chugging along to try and reach the point where our next colony ship will be produced. And I can actually buy it out now, so let's do that. There we go. More cargo pods, sorry. So we fill up a ship full of budding colonists from Scythia to depart for the Anshai Chiron system. Go and colonize the larger of the 2 prospective worlds. Oh, I have an idle colony. Right, Hassie 2 has finished building the research laboratories I asked them to. Because there's no other spaces of 3 on this world yet, later technology upgrades will allow me to open up more tiles. I'm going to tell it to produce economic stimulus, which should produce extra cash. And there we go. The Anshai Chiron system, colonize it. Right, mining accidents. Your geologists have come across an incredibly rich vein of rare minerals which could dramatically increase the economic output of this colony. Unfortunately, assessing them will be incredibly dangerous work, and even with the use of automated tools, the entire colony will be ultimately more exposed to radioactive elements. What are your orders? If it can't be done safely, it can't be done at all. Collect the resources which can be gathered safely, but leave the rest as is. Do what we can to extract it safely. Use as many automated techniques as possible. Mine it. Rare minerals. Rare in a way that people aren't. Boof. We need that economy bonus. And there isn't exactly much going on this world otherwise. Oh, pardon me. Although with another resource of Prometheus stone, we now have plus 10% to our ship's movement speed. And we're now producing 3 income a ton. Woo! So yeah, this is the rough and ready first steps of Galactic Brikwars, episode 1 with the Shadow Scythe, and we will be back all too soon with episode 2. So thank you very much. Bye bye for now.